Hey everybody, David here, Burlyman40. I am going to do this video as a response to Jay's Share a Talent, a Skill month. And this is my skill I'm going to pass along. You'll need a few things for this if you decide to get into it for yourself. But this is something that as pipe smokers we will all find very useful and will come in handy for each of us. I actually had thought about sharing this several other times and never did. So Jay, thank you for the motivation to do this now. What I'm about to show you is, and you're going to think a little crazy at first, when I first read this on a forum, I didn't get the reasoning behind doing this yourself versus just buying them. But I'm going to show you how to make your own matches, your own 860s. They actually are pretty easy to make, very easy to make, and they come out pretty quickly once you start going and you get into a little rhythm. You can whip these out pretty quickly. I have amassed in a short period of time, probably in the 3 months or so that I've been making my own matches, I have probably 25,000 matches. So you won't be buying matches again. In what we use to make them is something that especially those of us with kids all have lying around the house, and that is simply popsicle sticks. There are lots of advantages to using popsicle sticks, and I'll explain that in a moment. I'll show you what you're going to need first. You're going to get a box of matches for the strike plate because I'm not making a strike plate. I do have, however, a website I can show you to get one of the other accessories you're going to need, where you can get strike plates that just roll up and you can, or even fold it in half, and keep it in your pipe pouch, and you'll always have a strike plate with you. These are not strike anywhere matches that we're making. They call them magic strikes, like a marker. The tip applier for the matches to get the strike anywhere applier is like 4 times as much as this. So I didn't want to spend the money on that until I saw how I was going to enjoy the hobby. I simply just do this on any table. I get some computer paper that I put down to protect my table. I have my popsicle stick. I have 2 tools that I will generally go between. These are simply Cobalt utility knives, straight edge blades. They come in the blue or in this yellow gold. I tend to like the yellow gold better. The sheath where the blade fits is machined down thinner so that you can get thinner blades in there and they don't just slip through like they do on the wide ones. That's what I got first. But this makes it totally effortless. So get now what color you call it, like that yellow gold color, that orange gold, Cobalt or Husky. This one actually is a Husky. They have the Cobalt or Husky straight edge utility knives, and then get the superfine blades to put in the knife itself. So you're going to need your popsicle sticks, your blade of choice, strike plate, and your strike tip applier. The strike tip applier I will tell you more about in a moment, but as far as for the fashioning of the match, one great thing is when you're making your own matches, you're not stuck to having a match that's the length of a standard match. You can make them a little bit longer, and you can make them wider. The combination of those 2 things, especially if you're lighting a match outside, if you're sitting around a campfire, you're hanging out with friends at a cornhole tournament or something, and you need to light your pipe, those matches can go out quickly, especially in a breeze, and these aren't going to go out on you the way regular matches do. So you make them a little wider yourself, and to cut these is super easy, especially if you get the orange blades. You really just need to push. You don't even really need to, try to score it and cut it. You push the blade into the popsicle stick and work your way down. I have found that I can comfortably get 4 matches out of each popsicle stick. And to get a clean edge can sometimes be a little bit of a challenge, but not too big of a deal. There's another very cool thing about making your own matches that doesn't come on a standard match. I will show you first the business end of the match, and then the end that you hold is they're always just squared. They're flat. With the popsicle stick homemade matches, you can see you have your business end that you're going to put your strike applier to. But you have this cool bend that it is a good place to sit your finger, because when you make your homemade matches, you need a little bit more force against the strike plate than you do with a standard match. And this gives you a place to do that. It gives you a nice place to rest your finger to get that extra friction you're going to need. This is where you take your strike applier. I think this is a Diamond brand applier, if I remember. You can only get them online. I have not seen them in stores. You take the business end of the homemade match and your tip applier, and you're simply going to basically paint on. And you really only need to do this to one side, believe it or not. You don't need to do the edges. You can if you want, just to give you a little bit extra strike power. But with this broad match that you've made, you're not going to need all-around coverage. And you really want to leave one side uncovered, and that's important as well. I'll explain that why that is in just a minute. Now you have, basically you have your homemade match, which is not much longer. I make them just a smidge longer than a regular match, but they're wider, and they're going to give you that extra burn time you're going to need, especially if you're lighting out in the wind. Like I said, you start whipping these out very, very quickly. I typically will cut them all out, and then I'll just take my strike applier and I will put that on all of my matches. Now, what I almost forgot is very important. You want to cover this back up before you try to light your match, because you don't want this flammable material open and exposed to a flame. As I told you, you're going to need the strike plate from a box of matches that you're going to buy in a store, unless you buy one of those portable strike plates. The next step is very important, because I ran into lots of trouble the first time I tried to light one of my matches without following this step. You want to take one of the store-bought matches and put it up against your homemade match. But you want to put it on the end, on the side you did not apply the strike cover to. And you're going to want to put your finger on your cool little groove. You're going to take the match and take the store-bought side, because this side I tried for hours lighting it with this side. I tried with sandpaper and everything. Couldn't get it lit. Key is, if you have a store-bought match on the other side, it lights right up. Look at that. And you get lots of extra burn time because it is so thick. And you get a big old honking flame on that. You could light your pipe and your friend's pipes and pass it down the line, sitting around a campfire, and the thing's not going to go out. You could light everybody's matches. So these are the best 860s you're going to get. Forget buying diamond matches or whatever. These are going to be the last matches you ever have. You're going to make them yourself. You're going to have the satisfaction of knowing you made it. Look at the burn time. Look at that. That's insane. I could sit here forever. But that's it. You simply blow them out when you finish, like you do a regular match. And that's all there is to it. But don't forget to hold on to these. These are very important. If you don't have these, like I said, you're going to sit there forever and nothing's going to happen. So put this on the side you don't coat. You can go to town all day long. So I hope this is helpful for everybody. You're going to throw your lighters away, and you're only going to use your homemade matches. So thanks everybody for watching, and put that in your pipe and smoke it. God bless.